So, good morning, students. How are you all? I hope all of you are doing very good and safe at home. So, in the previous class, we have completed how we can separate the different substances, that is mainly the solid substances. Today, we are going to discuss the next topic, but before that, let's recapitulate our previous class. In the previous class, we have discussed the different methods of separating the solid substances. First one was hand picking, second was winnowing, third one was threshing, and last one is sieving. I hope that content is clear to you. Today we are going to start the next topic, that is insoluble solid from liquids. How you can separate the solid particles which are insoluble in the liquid. So let's start. First one is sedimentation process. What do you mean by sedimentation? Sedimentation means how you add the solid particles in a liquid and after stirring, after dissolving, they are settled down at the bottom of liquid. That process is called sedimentation. Suppose I have this bottle filled with the clay particles, as you can see, and I have water in it. So first of all I pour the water and then add the soil particles. As you can see, the soil particles are settled down at the bottom of liquid. This is called the sediment. The settle down of the solid particles at the bottom of a vessel or a liquid is called the sediment. This is called sediment, and the process is called sedimentation. What the process is called? Sedimentation. So this is known as sedimentation process. If you take the sand and place it, and put it in the water containing in a beaker, then what would happen, beta? After stirring, you keep it for undisturbed for some time. What will you find out? You will find out that the sand particles will settle down at the bottom and you get the water above. So we get two layers. One is sediment layer, that means solid particles that is settled down at the bottom, and another one is the clear water. However, the water is not clear, but somehow you can easily check that the solid particles settle down at the bottom and clear water we get above. Now this process is called sedimentation. This is how you can separate the solid particles by the process of sedimentation. Next is decantation. What do you mean by decantation? Suppose I have this water and the solid particles settle at the bottom. That means these are the sediments. If I want the water, I can pour the water into another beaker without disturbing the sediment particles. This process is called decantation. What this process is called? Decantation. So if you want to see that these are the solid particles that have the layers, and if I pour the water into another beaker without disturbing the sediment particles, the sediment particles left at the bottom and we get the water. So that means pouring of liquid into another beaker without disturbing the sediment, that is called decantation process, and we are doing in our day-to-day life. How we are doing into day-to-day life? Suppose if you are purchasing the rice and pulses bought from the market, before cooking you have to wash them, and for that you put it in a vessel and wash with the water. So you drain off the water by tilting the vessel. So this is another example of decantation process. Similarly, decantation process we can also use while boiling the vegetables. After boiling the vegetables, if their water is present in the vegetables, we can use that water by tilting the vessel, and we can use it into another vegetable while cooking or while preparing another food. So decantation process is mainly used in our day-to-day life. I have given you the example, rices, pulses and vegetables cooking. Another way is we can separate the two immiscible liquids with the help of decantation process. Immiscible liquids are those which do not mix with each other. They form separate layers. As I want to show you, I have this water and above that is the oil layer. So I can easily separate the oil by tilting the vessel, because water being heavier, it is at the bottom, and oil become lighter than water, so it forms the upper layer. So I can easily separate the oil by tilting the glass. So this is another example of decantation process. So decantation process is mainly used in our day-to-day life. the pouring of liquid into another vessel without disturbing the solid particles that are settled down at the bottom, that is called decantation process. So decantation process only involves when the solid particles do not dissolve in the liquid. If however the solid particles dissolve in the liquid, that we cannot use the decantation process. For example, sugar. Sugar is a solid particle. If we add sugar in the water and stir it, it completely dissolves. Then how can we separate it? We cannot separate it. So only those solid particles which do not mix in the liquid or settle down at the bottom, that process include the decantation process. That is how we can separate. Next one is filtration. What do you mean by filtration? Filtration means how you can separate the solid particles using filter paper, using any filter vessels or you can say strainers, and get the pure water or pure liquid. For example, I have given you example of teas, how you can make the tea. If you are using the tea leaves, you need a strainer to strain it. So tea strainer helps in filtering the particular tea and you get the clear tea. That is called filtrate. And the leftover solid particles that is left on the strainer, that is called residue. So in filtration we get two main things. First one is filtrate, that is the clear water or clear liquid, and the second one is residue. Residue means leftover solid particles. So whenever you are using, suppose you are using different type of filters, like you are using a piece of cotton, cloth, or wire mesh strainer, even you can there are so many filter made up of porcelain which helps in clarifying the water. Similarly, the drainage water, it is also filtered by using the metallics, you can say metallic filter, which are very big and which helps in you can say choking the underground pipes especially during the rainy seasons. So many filters are used in our day-to-day life, but in in experiments or in laboratories, basically we are using the filter paper for clarifying the liquid. So filtration means how you can separate the solid particles by using the filter paper, that is called filtration. So many examples I have given you. So next one is loading. What do you mean by loading? Loading means, suppose you are sometimes earlier times what happened, people fetch water from the ponds, lakes, or even from the rivers, and it contains lot of muddy water, lot of clay particles in it, and clay particles being very small in size, so they take lot of time to settle down. For that, alum is used. What is alum? Alum is also called fitkari. So basically it is easily available in any of the grocery shop. So alum is basically used in the loading process. What happens when you take the alum and tied it with a thread? I don't have alum right now, otherwise I will show you. So tied it with a thread, and if you have a water that contains clay particles, or you can say you have muddy water you fetch from the ponds, lakes, or any of the river, so you take the alum and then tied it with a rope and then circulate it 3 to 4 times, then what would happen? Some of the alum particles dissolve in that muddy water, and due to clay particles being very small in size, very light in size, they become heavy because alum particles dissolve it and they convert the clay particles into heavy one, and being a heavy particles, they settle down at the bottom of the liquid. So this process is known as loading process. I hope this is clear to everyone how the loading process occurs. So this much topic today we have discussed: sedimentation, decantation, filtration and loading. Next topic we will discuss in our next class. Thank you so much.